Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you stopped by today because today we are going to be making a prehistoric creature. Now at first I was actually looking into doing a dinosaur piece, but while I was searching I came across a creature called the LONGISQUAMA. I hope I'm saying that right. But it's basically a prehistoric lizard and I thought it looked really cool and I wanted to add a little bit of a fantasy twist to it. Anyways, let's get started. So the LONGISQUAMA is an extinct species of lizard that used to live around the middle to late Cretaceous period. And we actually don't know a whole lot about these little lizards because we only have a few remains of them. I believe there is one skeleton that was poorly preserved that was found and a couple imprints. So the name actually means long scale, and I've found plenty of older artwork that shows the decorative things on their back as giant scales, but I've also found a lot of newer artwork depicting these as feathers. Also, while I was looking up references, I was finding both artwork with 1 row and 2 rows of these feathers. So I actually liked how the 2 rows looked, so that is going to be how I'm going to do my creature. Honestly, with this piece, I just felt like taking a lot of creative liberties with it and just having fun with it. I'm not going for anything super realistic. Anyways, what I'm working on right now is the clay head. I've got my basic shape laid out and I'm going to start adding our details. So I need to figure out where my eyes are going to go, and I kind of want to have them facing a little bit more forward. Again, this piece is probably going to be more inspired off of the LONGISQUAMA than actually going to be scientifically accurate. I just wanted to have a lot of fun with the design. I thought it was really cool and could be really interesting with a fantasy twist. So I've got my eyes placed. I decided to go with more of a lavender color. These are not eyes that I've actually made. I've started making glass eyes, but I still have a few left over from when I was buying them. So I just thought these worked a little bit better than what my designs currently look like. Now I'm leaving the snout kind of more pointed, mainly because a lot of the sketches and stuff that I've seen had the face very similar to an anole, and I figured I would do the same with it. Once I have the eyes, nose, and mouth figured out, I'm then going to go in and start adding more scaling to the creature. So I really want to cover the face majority in scales. I'm going to do a lot of larger ones on the top of the head and then smaller ones around the other features like the mouth. For the really small scale details, I actually have a trick that I like to use. I like to use the backing of a seashell. I have a couple that are really nice and rough, but they do look like scales. So I actually will just push this onto the clay and I'll layer it here and there until I have a rough kind of scaly texture to the clay. Now, if I want something a little bit more rounded, I'll use a dotting tool, but for this, I wanted it to be a little bit rougher. And then once I'm done adding all of my details and I'm happy with how the face looks, I'm going to put it in the oven to bake. So normally I'll bake my clay for about 45 minutes at 275 Fahrenheit. And then for the feet, I'm actually going to be using a mold for these and making them out of resin. The only thing that I'm really going to do is I want to alter the layout of the toes just a little bit. So I'm going to go in and cut off all of the toes after I pull them out of the molds, and then we're going to use wire and hot glue to rearrange everything. Once I have the toes repositioned, I'm then going to take some epoxy sculpt clay and I'm going to fill in the gap between where the foot is and the toes, because there is a little bit of a gap between each one to get the toes to lay out the way that I wanted them to. So I'm going to fill that in and kind of clean everything up and try and blend it together so you don't really see the seams. Now this clay will have to finish curing overnight, but once that's done, everything will be ready to paint. Now the colors that I decided to go with for our lizard are green, yellow, blue, and then maybe a few hints of purple. So I'm going to have a lot of interesting markings and stuff, and I figured the easiest color to start with for this piece was going to be yellow. So I'm going to primer all of my clay pieces yellow. Now with the face, I wanted to draw out where I wanted to have my markings, just so I can make sure that they're nice and even. So I'm going to use a pen for this. You could also use a pencil, just whatever won't peel away the paint. You want to make sure the paint is all the way dry before you draw on it. And what I'm trying to do is make little rings of green. So I want to separate the face and kind of make it look striped. So I'm going to figure out where those are, and then I'm going to start filling in my design with my green paint. Once that's dry, I'm going to water down some black paint, and I'm going to use this to make the shadows in between all of the scales. So I'm going to paint over the entire face with my watered down paint, and then once I have everything covered, I'm going to take a damp paper towel and wipe away all the excess paint. That way we just have the black and all of our cracks and crevices. And then once all of our shadows are done, I'm then going to go in and start painting individual scales. So for this, I'm just randomly deciding where I want different colors to go, and I'm going to start painting the scales those colors. I'm mainly going to do this with my blues and my purples. Now I'll probably want to go back in and add a few extra shadows here and there and just kind of clean them up a little bit, and then I'll probably want to also do some highlights here and there. And then once I'm done painting, the last thing that I need to do is just kind of clean up those glass eyes. So I'm going to use some of my tools and just kind of peel away the excess paint that got on them. And then for the feet, how I want to paint these is I want to leave the underside the yellow, and I want it to fade to a green on top. So I'm going to start adding my greens to the very top, kind of slowly darkening them as I go, that way it can blend into the yellow. And then the body of our lizard is actually going to be more of a blue color, so I'm going to add some blue scaling at the base of the foot. Lastly, I'm going to add a little bit of a highlight to the tips of the toes to brighten them up a little bit, and then I'm going to be painting our claws black. So this is the pattern I'm going to use to make our lizard's body, and it's pretty much like a normal lizard body. The only thing different is I've found a few illustrations to where the back legs, he kind of stood up a little bit more dinosaur-like, and I liked that. So I'm going to kind of go with that shape of body a little bit more than a lizard where they would be more flat to the ground. Now I'm actually going to be using a lot of different colors for this piece, mainly because I wanted to make it very colorful and I also wanted to add a lot of markings to it. So I have the sides of the body broken up to where the head is going to be green, there's going to be a yellow stripe, and then the rest of the body is a blue. So I'm going to get those sewn together first. Now I'm going to be continuing this pattern on the belly and the back, so I also have these pieces of fabric broken up into different colors that I'll need to sew together as well. And because I'm going to have the majority of our belly yellow, I'm also going to have the inside portion of the back leg yellow as well. So I'm going to get that sewn in place. I'm just going to sew down the front of it. And then for the front legs, these are going to have an inside piece and an outside piece as well. The outside is going to be blue and the inside is going to be yellow, just like the belly. So I'm going to sew down the fronts of these as well, and then we can connect them to the sides of the body. Once we have the legs connected to the sides of the body, we can then take our belly piece and connect the sides of the body to that. So we're just going to try and have one solid piece of fabric to work with. I mean, other than the back of the creature and all of the, like, spine feathers. I think I'm just going to call them feathers for now because it makes more sense for me. So the feathers are the last thing that we're going to be sewing, and I have them in a bunch of different colors as well. I'm going to have a darker blue, a brighter blue, and a purple. So I'm going to get those all pinned together, that way we can sew them with the sewing machine, and then we just need to flip them right side out. Now to make them more feather-like and to also kind of hold their shape a little bit more, I'm going to sew down the middle of them to kind of flatten them. Now I do need to be careful to leave enough space on either side, that way we can still run a wire through them. And speaking of wire, here is our wire frame. It was kind of intense to put together. I mean, the body itself is just a normal skeleton, but the spikes took quite a bit of wire layering to get right. Anyways, let's get started and add everything to the wire frame, starting with the fabric for the body. So I'm going to take the wires for the legs and I'm going to run them through the fabric where the legs are going to go. So I'm just going to kind of slide the fabric over the wire frame. Next, I can take our clay head and I can start gluing it to the wire for the neck. So I'm going to get that in place, and then I can start gluing the fabric for the neck around the base of the head. Along with the fabric for the back of our lizard, that's going to be glued right on the top of the base of the head. Once that's dried, I'm going to start sewing up the sides of the neck and stuffing the neck. Once we get to where we want to add our little feathers, I'm going to start sliding those on the wire frame and continuing to sew and close up the body while I stuff it. This did take a little bit of time to do. Once I'm done adding the feathers, I'm going to keep going down the rest of the tail, stuffing and closing it up. And then for the legs, I'm going to start with the back legs first. I'm going to take our resin feet that we made and I'm going to glue them to the wire frame. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, and then I can take the fabric for the legs and glue them around the bases of our feet. Lastly, I just need to stuff and close up the back legs, and then we can do the same thing with the front legs. Okay, so our lizard is all put together, and now we can start decorating the body. So I'm going to start by figuring out where I want to add some extra beads and things, and I'm going to sew those in place, and then I'm going to use my fabric markers to kind of lay out where I want to add different scales and stuff. I'm also going to cut different pieces of fabric to make different markings on the top of the neck to kind of make it look like there's larger scales. And then I'm just going to use a bunch of different gems and start gluing them everywhere. I really wanted to add a ton of detail to this. I'm basically just going to keep adding things until I'm finally happy with the piece. Okay guys, and here is our LONGISQUAMA. I had so much fun with this project. Again, I really hope I'm saying that correctly. I always mispronounce things all the time in my videos, and I'm sure I'll find out if there's a different way of pronouncing it, but yeah, I had so much fun with all the jewels and different things like that, messing around with altering our resin feet. I'll have to do that a lot more before the mold gives out on me and I have to make another one. But yeah, this little guy is going to be on my website, so if anyone is interested in buying him, you can check the links down below for that. Along with those links, I will have links to a bunch of different art supplies, so if you're interested in making something like this, or really any art doll at all, you can see what I like to use to make, and you can check that out. Now these are affiliated links, so if you do buy anything through them, it does help support the channel. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!